This was this was funded by philanthropy. It was implemented in 28 cities across the US. It started during the pandemic, and it was a pilot program for reentry cash support. And so we've talked about this before. You exit prison, and it's not uncommon for you to get like $50 one time. And so this pilot looked into, well, let's give them more than $50. Let's give them, I think it was around $900 per month for 3 months. So, it's not even a full year. And what are the impacts of that? Just increasing this. And it was conditional cash too. You needed to jump through some hoops in order to get each payment. So, it's not unconditional cash. I would say it's not as good as the Gainesville pilot that we talked about, where they got it for a full year and there were like no hoops to jump through. But still, this was like, so what is the impact of just, going from $0 or one time $50 to actually 3 months of monthly support? That was actually, pretty useful.
It's still a measurement of basic empowerment. Like what happens
Yeah.
when we empower people rather than restricting people.
So people who participated in the program had on average fewer parole violations than a similar group of recently incarcerated individuals. Participants were also less likely to violate parole by committing violent infractions such as assault and battery. And in the first year after being released, participants committed fewer parole violations, both overall and for violent offenses, than their non-participant counterparts in the comparison group. Program participation was limited to 3 months, generally shortly after release. And thus, the program appears to reduce recidivism among participants beyond the period when participants were receiving the catch stimulus. And it may have been effective at reducing reincarceration among participants in the year and a half, 2 year, 30-month follow up periods. However, for methodological reasons, further studies needed to assess the reliability of that impact. But there was clearly, this impact on less recidivism in that first year. And also these various parole violations. And that was just for 3 months.